Greetings, my ladies. So, men online really like to criticize women for a lot of the problems that are going on in society.
We do like to criticise you women, and it's great that we can, because you'll never hear any criticism of women on the media, in schools, in universities, in healthcare facilities, but you'll see posters in healthcare facilities, domestic violence, and it's always a man hitting a woman, always, always, or a child, oh yes, same in all the schools and stuff like that, you know, hey, and it's even in the law where I'm drunk, you're drunk, we both want to fuck, but I'm the rapist because you were drunk and can't consent under the law. So, I think that was put in place by feminism, that law, as well as many other laws. And it's fucking up society. So yeah, I'm glad men like me can criticise slut monkeys like you.
They like to say, feminism. Feminism is causing everything horrible in society. And that completely absolves any responsibility that a guy would have in any situation.
What feminism has done, I hope you don't mind me calling you slut monkey, because I really don't give a fuck about your real name. So, slut monkey. Feminism has got rid of any societal responsibility for women. It's pushing feminism, laws on men. Responsibility. Even though it's not even their responsibility sometimes. Like men in America, just one place in the West that does this, no, and there's a lot. If a man is said by a woman, a slut monkey, or parasite whore, on the backs of men, says, oh, he's the father of my baby. All they need to do, in some states in America, is send him a letter, even though they know he doesn't live there, and they say, by the way, you're the father of this child. He doesn't respond to that letter. He's the father of that child, even though it's proven later by DNA evidence that he's not. So I would say feminism is fucking up society in a motherfucking Big Mac way. But no, like a woman, you will not see feminism doing anything wrong. Just like women. Because they can not do anything wrong. We're perfect.
And I mean, they criticize these aspects of feminism, such as allowing women to vote, allowing women to go to college, allowing women to work, and all of these things for the decline of society.
Personally, now this is a personal thing, what I've studied for many, many years. There is no such thing as left and right. There is such as things as bloodlines and family ties and financial ties. Politics is just it. Many blood-sucking animals, i.e. insects, ticks. Believe it or not, parly is to talk, ament is lies in Latin. It's in your fucking faces. Right. But women do vote for more socialist, bigger government, and for protection for themselves. And men and women who have been in power, because there's always women been in power at the back. I mean, what about the 1,000 queens and empresses that there's ever been? Don't forget sending men off to war so she can get some more resources. As well as the other kings as well, sending men off to war. But don't say women have never been in power, because you fucking have. I mean, you women can bring an emperor of Rome to his knees. Who was that? Cleopatra? And there was a few Cleopatras, there weren't just one in history. It was fucking, you know, Pharaoh of Egypt, which wasn't a very poor place at one time. But women have never been in power. No, my patriarchy. Fuck off with your feminism. So, in a way, it's brilliant that women can work. Because you can buy me a sandwich rather than fucking make me one. But you don't want to do that, women, because you price yourself out of the market, right? You go on about chads and Tyrones like MGTOWs do and feminists do and fucking pick-up artists do. But the point is, women are very materialistic. Personally, I call them parasite whores. Because the world, believe it or not, is one big brothel. And you've got to talk about that, no doubt. Because I did view a little bit of... I viewed about 4 or 5 minutes in. Maybe 3 or 4 or 5, I don't know. And you did go on about prostitution as if it's men's fault. No, that's brilliant. I'm a drug dealer. I sell drugs to you. It's not my fault. It's your fault. You bought it. I'm innocent.
And while these things do give women a lot more options with things that they're able to do in life, and I don't always agree with what they choose to do, I do think blindly criticizing feminism and women for all of these societal problems is pretty blanketed and not really nuanced.
Like, the reality, the cold hard reality of politics, normally you get two-party system. Even if it's a 6 or 7 party system, which it is in Sweden, they're all towing the same globalist line. There is no such thing as left and right. It's bullshit. And I'm sorry to hurt the fifis of the Trump supporters. He's actually working for the chosen people. He's the biggest Zionist that there's ever been. But I suppose that's alright to Christian fundamentalists, because they're going to build the temple on, you know, the third holiest site of the Muslims. Boom! Yeah, World War III. That's going to be quality, isn't it? People have parliaments. Parley is to talk. Ament is lies in Latin. It's in your face. They use language to take the piss out of you. That's why it's called spelling. So women do vote for big government. Women have got more rights than men, and they've done that throughout civilization when they want to crash a civilization, because women are basically selfish, whore parasites. You are essentially black holes that can't see further from that. Your nose. Because it's you who only count. And fuck everything else, because you can always open your legs. And somebody will save you. And that will be a man killing other men when it all kicks off. Maybe this time the information has spread like a one big, all women are whore parasites, all women are like that. And it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and men are going, I'm not going to be Captain Save a Whore when it all kicks off. I'm going to save number 1, like these bitches do. Know thy enemy in a way. Yeah? Because you're not team players, and if you're not team players, what the fuck are you? You might as well be an enemy, because you're stealing men's children. And sometimes you're forcing fatherhood on men with your feminism that are not even biologically the father. But women are going for that. And if that's not an oppressive thing to do, because if he doesn't pay, he gets thrown in jail, probably gets raped as well, because more men get raped in the USA than women. By both men, yes, those evil creatures, and the angels, women. In the UK, women can't get done for raping a man or a boy. That's the law. Who's putting in these laws? The feminists, maybe? They're actually in Canada right now as we speak. They're literally putting a law in where men can't show any evidence against a rape conviction while he's in court. So he might as well go, yeah, well, I'm not guilty, but hey, fuck it. I'm guilty because my feminism. They're getting rid of common law. You fucking dumb whore. Because why are they getting rid of common law? Let me tell you. Because the Jews and the top Muslims and the top fucking Jesuits and the top fucking Freemasons and all the rest of it want Islam and Sharia. Yeah, you get it. The Greater Israel Project. I know, let's not talk about this. My feminism was a big part of breaking down society, so yes. You women have a fuckload of apologising to do. A fuckload. Or, just say, your children with no autonomy, and we'll give you a cuddle and we'll build things up again and take you under our wing and, you know, so you can shit on us all over again.
Specifically these like male thoughts who come online, who've had like 10, 30 plus partners, whatever, and then they start complaining about how they can't find a good woman, or there's no good women out there, or all women are like lying sluts or something like that.
All women may be not lying sluts, but they're all fucking lying when they say they're not. Sluts as well. That's a double whammy. Yeah, so let's knock this out of the park here. You're on about these male sluts, okay? Okay, what do women use online? You're a perma-virgin. You'll never get a woman. As if like a woman makes a man's life. When quite a lot of women ruin men's lives and boys' lives. Just by a mere lie. He touched my tiny pee-pee hole. Shit like that, you know. He's the father of my child. Shit like that. You know. Like you could be going to be a judge and a couple of fucking women come out of the woodwork, say you gangbanged them and did this to them, and they've completely found out lying and nothing gets done. That's gynocentrism. And feminism is gynocentrism on steroids. So going back to male sluts, right? There's only a few male sluts. Back in the day, I suppose I could have been classed as one. I've had a lot of women. Believe it or not, I don't care. I'm old now, I'm fat, I'm bald, and I'm ugly. But I never used to be that way. But the point is this, right? There's only a few male sluts. The majority of men like have to jump through hoops if they really want to get a woman and stuff, you know. And it's even worse now because of technology. Because the whole world is an option. You know, he was talking about options before. The whole world is an option for women now, you know. And it's not making them happy, because women are all over the place anyway with fifis, with the little hamster brain. It never stops going, you know. Oh, what about Bob? Oh, Tricia. You've got multiple voices going off in your head. And that's when you've not got schizophrenia. It must be fucking twice, 3 times, 4 times as hard for you as a man with schizophrenia. Well, everything's hard for a woman, isn't it? You know, when victimhood is looking good. So back to Chad here. Only a few men can do that. The ones that can't get shamed by women like you, like the perma-virgins, you're never going to get a woman, you live in your mum's basement, you know, and some of these actual people who they're saying you live in your mum's basement have got real good jobs. They're just socially inadequate, let's say, socially shy, you know. They've not got the social skills, you know, but they're shit hot at fucking Python programming. Oh, they can fucking, I don't know, do quantum mechanics like they wipe their arse. Can they speak to people, let alone women? Some of them can't. Some of them are really locked in. Sort of. This is why they get called autists as well. Oh, you're a fucking autist. Oh, you're an incel. Oh. So, as much as these so-called men are saying they can't find a good woman, maybe that's because there's no good women out there anyway. Ever thought of that? Because women will change what they want in men. And according to the media, one time it's a fucking manlet wearing mascara and shit like that, and then next minute it's a guy in a fucking, I don't know, a lumberjacket and a fucking beard, and when he goes off set to kiss his boyfriend, he's like, "Was that okay, lovey, Mr. Cameraman?" Because the media's fake. Men have been men throughout the years, and it's always been the so-called ruling elite that say what men do and what men are. Do you think a lot of men were fainting down mines? Oh, swoon. But yet, when you see the guys with the wigs and the tights prancing about, they was allowed to faint, right? So, in a way, the elites have always shown what is masculinity, what is femininity, that's throughout the ages, and this is why you're getting loads of transgender's brilliant. No, it's not sexual abuse to little children. It's not mental torture to little children. It's a right thing, and it's stupid feminist fucks like you teaching that shit in school, because it's mainly women in school now and universities teaching shit, right? And teaching men are so bad. So if men are being taught that they're so bad, they're either going to try and jump through hoops more, or just say there's no good women out there. Because the good women would be saying, I'm a good man. And stop saying I'm an incel, and stop saying I'm a fucking a perma-virgin, or this, that and the other. And just see me for what I am. But women don't see men for what they are. They perceive good genes, money. They just see men as walking ATM machines and sperm donors. That is the reality of it. We can bullshit and say, yes, women are hypergamous, and put an academic, concept on it. Or we could go the Paul route. All women are parasite whores on the backs of men. And that's why shaming language comes to a lot more men than the guys who can get the women. I mean, the shaming language that they're going to get off the women is toyful, playful fighting. The first thing a woman will do, right, and this is what men are not allowed to do to women. First thing a woman will do, she'll start touching her hair, opening up to you, not folding her arms, putting her eyes to you, right? But the first thing they'll do is, oh, when you make a joke, they'll hit you. It's called passion punches, right? It means that they like you. No man can touch women. Not even if I've worked with a woman for decades, right? I wouldn't be allowed to. Oh, all right, darling. But she'll do it to me. She'll come up to me. I've had loads of women touch me like that. And then if I step back and go, whoa, 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 calm down. What's up with you? Are you gay? You see, there's loads of double standards between men and women. But there's more with men, I suppose. I mean, women have only got to. That's everything you fucking say and everything you do. Because you're allowed to do anything, relatively speaking. Anyway.
And I just think that's a little bit hypocritical of them to start talking about how degenerate women are when they're just degenerates themselves. I'm not going to try and generalize and say all men, but it's a lot of guys on YouTube who do this. They come online starting to preach these patriarchal values, talking about how we need to go back to a patriarchy and tame all these women who are just turning the society into a degenerate mess.
Well, first off, Slut Monkey, patriarchy, it wasn't a big bag of sweeties for men, you know. It was men sacrificing normally their fucking lives for slut monkeys like you. Excuse me, I've got a cold. Now, let me just stop that now. You are turning into a degenerate mess. There's loads of strip clubs, loads of brothels. I mean, look at Germany, it's just one big brothel now. But that's not women's fault, it's men's fault. Because they demand prostitution. But what if women stopped selling it? Don't get me wrong, there's women buying a lot of sex off men in the UK. There's 2 female professors from Leicester University studying it, because there's so much. And one of the reasons is, you're shit to be with. And that's why you need to pay for sex. But there you go. And that's one of the reasons why men have to pay for sex. Have to. Because most women don't want quite a lot of men. So they feel that they have to. And women, the little entrepreneurial VJ holders that they are, because it's the only thing of value that they've really got, because personality, make men laugh, buy the beers, take men out. That's not what you say you want from men. You don't want to give that to men. You want that from men, for them to take you out. But you don't want men wanting that from you. Do you get what I mean? That's a double standard. And in fact, it's a bit degenerate to expect one side to always pay, even with their wives. And that's what you don't do. Maybe that's the biological imperative. Or maybe deep down you know that men sacrifice more, do more, and build societies more. Well, you just lay on your backs and take the piss out of the majority of men. Because that's what you fucking do. And that's what the government does. And the government is just middle management. And you're middle management underneath them. And then there's men. And at the top are the kings and queens that steal your dreams. You own the banks and everything else, the corporations. Why do you think the corporations fucking hate men and want to split up society even more? Is it because Gillette wants to sell more razors to men? They don't give a fuck about selling razors or not. I mean, the products that they sell are toxic anyway. Lauryl sulfate in most of the soap. Lovely. Nice and toxic. Fucking hell. I mean, I could go on and on about how much shit and how toxic their products are. Procter & Gamble. But oh well. Just look into it if you really want to know. But I'm not preaching patriarchy. Patriarchy is men looking after cunts like you. And I don't want to tame you. You can't tame a fucking wild animal. You really can't. You're nice on the outside, like a lion, like a lioness. And I could pretend to crack the whip and all that. But you'll always be able to eat me alive. And that's women. You cunts. Especially with gynocentrism and a little bit of feminism with steroids. And that's why society's fucking up. Because you're not nobodies. You're not one man's. Because he's not even a man to you. He's just a fucking utility. He's just a stepping stone. Girl, I'm not your stepping stone, I'm not your stepping stone. That was a famous fucking song in the 60s. Even though I weren't born then. But that was a famous song in the 60s. And it was sung by a man. Because there was a lot of that going on at the time. You know, the sexual fucking revolution. It wasn't a sexual revolution for men. It was a sexual revolution for women. You know, women come first. Women get the most enjoyment. But now you're not enjoying life. Are you? Lots of women are unhappy. Not my fault. Not men's fault. Fuck yous. You've led the revolution. Did you ask men? Did we really wanted to join in the worship of the vagina? And let's call it feminism. Let's just worship women and their wants and their needs and the victim status. But fuck everyone else. Fuck the children. Fuck the men. Yeah! Women power. Go fuck yourself. It's always been a matriarchy at the back of this shit. Patriarchy? Right, chaps, we need more resources. Right? We need more resources. What are we going to do? We'll send all the bitches to fight each other. Handbags at 4 o'clock. We'll just watch the match, have a few beers, and see who wins. That's not going to happen, is it? You get men fighting. So 85% of all the world's resources can be spent by spent by the women. And that's not including baby food and baby clothes. That's just you spending for you. 85%. And then men get blamed for environmental damage. Fan-fucking-tastic. You're using the world's resources like a motherfucking black hole, and then get done for creating environmental damage. Look up feminist anarchism, environmentalism. Just look up environmentalism. I mean, it's men are doing this, men are doing this, men are doing. You women have the greatest ability. You build bigger walls than Trump could ever do. Not women's problem. Wall. Oh, I'll point the finger over the wall. Ah, it's you, it's you. Never me, don't look at me, I've got a wall. It's an impenetrable wall of bullshit. It's called never my fault. Not the cause, not the effect. Never. Fucking bullshitters.
Yet they're ex-pickup artists, or they have an extremely high notch count. They're not married. They use porn or support prostitutes.
Watch porn? Who stars in porn? Women. Who gets paid more in porn? Women. Who's actually doing it for free so they can get famous because they've got a vagina? Women. Right? Support prostitutes. How do I do that? Do I go to Amsterdam and give them a clap in front of the windows, which the degeneracy is all over? This is how degenerate you women are allowed to be. You're allowed to be almost naked and flash sometimes your tits and your pussy in broad daylight when there's children walking the streets of Amsterdam, Pattaya, you name it, Germany, Prague. You do it in the streets. Just imagine if the shoe was on the other foot. What would you women be saying? Look at these men, they don't even give us sex for free. How oppressive is that? And look at how degenerate they are. They're in these G-strings or whatever the fuck these fucking male strippers were, right? The Tarzan pants and fucking fuck knows. And how perverted is that? And there's children walking the streets. It'd be you saying that, but men can't say anything. That's how powerful you are. You know what I mean? The ones that you can't criticise, Jews. Is that anti-Semitic? They're not even Semites, for fuck's sake. The point is, right? The ones that you can't criticise are the ones in power. And all you do, all the fucking time, women, especially feminists, and especially the media and the films, is criticise men. When have you ever seen a woman be kicked in the cunt off a man in a film? I've seen it once, and I think you have to correct me on this. It's Cape Fear or something like that, where they're robbing banks, and it's the Red Hot Chili Peppers in it, and I think the parachuters, right? And I think it's Wesley Snipes, and he gets pushed out of a plane with no fucking parachute, or is a parachute. Anyway, it's dangerous, and he gets pushed out by this woman, and this woman's laughing, right? And he comes out the water, right? He comes out the sea, and he goes, yeah, bang, and kicks her in the cunt. That's possibly, it was shocking, but it was fucking funny as fuck as well, because nobody expected that. And I watched that in the cinema, and everybody burst out laughing. But yeah, it was like a, you know, like an embarrassed sort of, scared sort of, fucking, this shouldn't happen. Never forget, women, how much power you've got. And now it's fucking supremo power that you can fuck up men's lives. And yes, there's a lot of you who are degenerate. Support prostitutes. Come on, you prostitutes, well done. You don't give it away for free. That's really kind. That's amazing. Whoa. Fucking materialistic cunts. Most of them are doing it for. Yeah, but they're doing it for the family, and they're doing it for this, and most of them are drug addicts, most of them are abused. No. That's not true. They just like easy money. I'm not saying like shagging 20 men a day is easy. I've never done it myself. I've never shagged one, but I never will. Not for money either. I wouldn't do it for free. But say like I was doing it to women, I suppose I'd get, I don't know, maybe bored. I don't know. I don't know. Not my type comes in. That's most women. Because you're fucking insane, and you are degenerates, and you don't listen to men, and you don't care, and you don't love men, and you don't love society that's give you everything. And that's why it's crashing down. And that's why the elites have used you to shit on men and boys. And that's why, one of the reasons, lots of little boys want to be lots of little girls. One of the reasons. It's also in the food, in the water, and in the air. That they're giving estrogenic mimicking chemicals, and I don't know, it's up to you what you want to believe. I don't really give a fuck anymore.
Yet they're talking about the degeneracy of women. It just doesn't really make sense. And I don't think these guys seem to realize that men have also had a contribution into what's going on in society. Men created Playboy, men subsidized Playboy, men indulge in porn and prostitutes.
So men made Playboy. No. One man who's related to the Queen of England, to the Bushes, to fucking, you name it, Hillary Clinton, made Playboy. Yes, there was male photographers. Yes, there was female photographers. But guess who was in the fucking spread? Spreading them. You degenerates for the money. The cash for gash. Parasite whores. You. You can stop it. The drug dealer of the VJ. But you never will. It's not in your nature to be kind, to give, to sacrifice. It's just not. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of women that are sacrificed for their children. A lot. But there's a hell of a lot more men. If they're allowed to. But they're not now, because it's you and the state, the pimp, the daddy Max, or the big sister, really. And who basically, it's not my children and her children. It's her children and the state's. Eventually, it'll just be the state's. That's if you're allowed to have children. That's if you can. Because most of us are becoming infertile. And it's not because we're taking the pill. That's part of the problem now. Because women do piss out estrogen and progesterone in the pill. Look, look, look. Here's to losing sperm. And what I mean, it's in the food, it's in everything, right? So, but women are becoming infertile too. The fertility rate is plummeting. And people say, yeah, but in Africa it's rising actually if you look at the real figures. Quite a lot of them countries. No young people anymore. So what I wish to state here is you keep going on about prostitution. If you just shut your legs and not get paid for it, hardly any heterosexual prostitution. But like I said, it is rising for men, for women paying men. And one of the things is because women are getting fucking lonely. Because there's a lot of men that just don't want anything to do with you now. Cost-benefit analysis and all this kind of shit. I just think, well, why do I want to be with an arsehole? Be it a man or a woman, as a friend, you know. I don't want assholes around me. What do I want to stick a dick in a woman who's a fucking arsehole? What would I want to do that? I've just thought on so, well, whatever. Anyway, so there's just a lot of men becoming more discerning in an environment that literally is toxic for them, and that's being passed on down to younger generations. I mean, I've always been a cunt with women, but at least I admit it. You know, I particularly, I think women are alright for a bit of fun, but try and get a real connection with them, and nah. I've got more chance of connecting with a dead light bulb. There's not anybody there, really. I mean, there is something there, but it's contained. It doesn't like external stimuli if it's got fuck all to do with not getting the gibs, not getting the attention, not having the funds, you know, the funnies. You know, listen to women, what they go on about. What they want from a man. Oh, he can take me out. He can take me to places. He can buy me stuff. He can do... What? Where does this... We can climb a mountain. We can chop a tree down. We can make a log cabin. Where does this we ever come into it with you fucking whores? It doesn't.
So they're fueling this degeneracy that they claim to hate.
Darling, slut monkey, if you start a fire and I'm feeling cold and I know that you've got the fire, I'm going to come to you, right? Because I'm not allowed to play with fire. I can only buy it. That's what society is. Men buy sex, one way or the other. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've never done it, never will. Not for me. But the point is, there's a lot of men that would never, ever get sex if they didn't buy it directly. And that's how fucking women do not care one iota about men. And that's even men in their lives, really. Women can switch off like that, their emotions, towards men like a tap. People say it's evolutionary psychology, people say it's fucking this, that and the other, the biological imperative, you know, because some Vikings might come over feeling a bit horny, even though they never wore those fucking fucking things, and start raping and pillaging you, you know. Personally, the women of Great Britain, I'd say, hey, lads, hey, fucking take them, and we'd be fighting, just like, hey, no, you take them, no, yeah, no, you take them, no, we'd be literally having wars, how to, like, get these fucking women out of our lives, because you're that shit. You're not good to the country. You're black holes. If you weren't selling sex, and there's fucking tons of women at all ages selling sex. Go on adultwork.co.uk. There is 500,000 women on that one server alone. 500. It's been in the papers. Yet, we're told by the government that there's 80,000 prostitutes in Britain. Yeah, right. Well, there's 65 million people. Say there's more women, split it up. Well, we'll say there's 33 million people who are women. That's 33 million prostitutes. Right. So, look, it's you, women, who are prostituting, mainly. So, who started the degeneracy? Is it the drug dealer who's got the drugs and says, here, try this drug, and somebody buys it and wants more? Am I more to blame because I'm selling the drug and making the drug? I think so, somewhere. But hey, you're a woman, you're blameless, and you can even project, even when you're selling shit, that it's men's fault. I agree, there's loads of degenerate men. I was one of them. I still fucking am, because I still don't give a fuck. But I would have loved a family. I would have loved to settle down. And she would have wanted for relatively nothing materialistically. But fuck me. Just because you've got a VJ, set of tits and a pretty face, doesn't make you perfect. And because 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, you're told through all the institutions like school, you're amazing, but you've been oppressed. Oh, you're worth it, Timothy. On all the adverts and all the media. And there's so many powerful women, so many victim women in the movies, but there's never really some badass fucking pure evil cunt. And even when you're divorcing the copper who's trying to solve a fucking serial killer who's mainly murdering women, and he's working his balls off, She wants a divorce because he's never there. Yeah, he's trying to protect women in society. See the dichotomy? A man will always be shit on in the movies. There's so many, there's 7 different levels of mythology. There's 7 different levels of how to write a book as well. I don't know if anybody's heard of that, but yeah, there's not just a beginning, a middle, and an end. Right, so, but that's how they do. I mean, I can, as soon as I sit in front of a film, I can say, right, this is what's going to happen in this film. I don't know. I can work films out because it is sort of like a set pattern of storytelling, right? Anyway, what the fuck am I going on about?
And they claim to condemn all these like thoughts, so that they can complain all they want about the degeneracy of women, how women are all horrible, and how women are contributing to the decline of society, but they completely absolve any sort of responsibility that men would play in that situation at all.
You see, I see it from both sides. You don't. You see it from, why do you do this? Why do you do this, men? Why do you? Because most of them have to even be with a woman. Because you're of value. Men are not. Until you need us. And now, because of technology, because of institutions, because of institutions like the police, the army, you know, you don't need protection from the environment because you can go in your car built by mainly robots and men. Eventually it'll just be robots. So what I'm saying to you is we're just an unnecessary part of evolution to you now, women. Until shit hits the fan, which it is going to do. Because they're crashing civilization and they're doing it on purpose. And I know how they're doing it and why they're doing it. And when I put videos out to tell people, boom, I get fucked off YouTube. Because they don't like the fucking truth. No, it's a conspiracy. It's not called the truth anymore. It's called a conspiracy. So, yeah, it's you women that need to stop being degenerates. The men will follow. Somebody said that.
Like, if you're supposedly against women being thoughts, why would you watch porn? Why would you subsidize prostitutes? Why would you subsidize all these industries that only promote even more degeneracy within women? You wouldn't have porn without sexual liberation. You wouldn't have the freedom of prostitution without sexual liberation.
You see freedom as female liberation. Do you think men would like to jack off on porn or have a really good loving relationship with a woman who actually loved him? Do you think men think, fucking hell, paying for sex is freedom? I've just worked 50, 60, 70 hours for maybe 500, 600, 700 pounds a week. And I'm going to spend most of that on a prostitute who really couldn't care if I lived or died. That does not sound like freedom to me. It sounds like taking the piss sort of freedom for women. And they can literally do it in the street and nobody bats an eyelid, but it would bat an eyelid and get it closed down if men was doing the same. So go fuck yourself. I'm bored of listening to you. I think this is as far as I'm going to go with this cunt. You are only going to see, yes, but we must balance it out now. We must apportion the problems to men as well, even though it's been you women fucking off for 70 years over and over. No fault divorce, screwing men. 2/3 of personal wealth in America is held by the matriarchy, the women. Did you fucking earn that? No. You stole it off men with the help of the government and the law. You're amazing, women. You're amazing. with something that shows how fucking amazing and how creative you slut monkey whore parasites really are. Enjoy. I've had enough of listening to your shit. I could have gone through this video, but what is the point? What is the point in talking to these fucking women anymore? There is no point. There is no point. They are the best NPCs that has been bought for 30 shekels. 30 shekels of silver. They're the best fucking whore parasites money can buy. To fuck up a society. I'm very, very proud of you whore parasites.
Crazy out there. I'm talking. Let me throw some statistics out there. The number of women on the Sunday Times rich list has risen by nearly 50% in 10 years. From 78 to 114. However, just 2 women, catch it, just 2 women, J.K. Rowling, 48, and Tamara Melton, 46, have made their fortune in their own right. Just 2 of them made their fortune in their own right. The rest have inherited their vast wealth or own a business jointly with their husbands or have won it in a divorce hearing.